Well, hey everybody. I've got a quiet morning out here and I'm trying to get some stuff cleaned up, and I'm going through some things I should have gone through before as far as my equipment, but wanted to show you a few things in case you're curious. That is a wax moth. There's a lot of different kinds of wax moths, but that's one. That's usually on the bigger side is the ones you'll see. You'll see them a lot when you're mowing grass too. They fly up out of the ground. Anyway, so the challenge with wax moths are they're not a primary predator. They don't feed on bees, they don't eat the bees' food, they don't harm the bees themselves. But what they'll do is they will get into your equipment that you, especially that you have in storage, and they will just mess it up. So I'll kind of take you through wax moth damage from not so bad to really bad. So first step, this frame here. Show you, do you see the channels? Let's see if I can get on this one here. And then over here. What they do is, the wax moth, this little critter, they lay their eggs in the hive itself, and when they emerge, they turn into wax worms. So if you've ever fished for bluegill or crappie, you know that a waxworm is. A waxworm is the larva of a wax moth. But anyway, all that to say, when that larva hatches out and it starts feeding, it comes through here. And what it really likes is this dark old brood comb. See how dark this comb is compared to, say, this comb here. That indicates that there's been brood in here, and so there's protein left behind through the cocoon of the bee larva, and that's what they want to eat. And so they're very indiscriminate, and they'll just go through and chomp, chomp, chomp. So this isn't bad, and honestly, I'm not going to do anything extra to this frame. Let me see here a little bit more on the other side, but honestly, this is fine. Get this out in the light, and I'll show you here how I try to, when I get my act together, how I try to store my comb. Anyway, this here is a little bit worse. Of course, you see here in the new comb that either hasn't had any or has only had one round of brood in it. They're not really interested because there's no protein in there. It's all beeswax. This is a wax moth egg case that would turn into the larva, that wax worm. And so you find these on your frames a lot. When you have them stored, you find them along the ears, down the sidebar particularly. And they will bore into the wood a little bit and chew up through the wood. I'll show you some of that here. You see these chew marks, these aren't mice at all. What these are the wax moths. So these all had eggs on them, is what they were. These white egg cases. And then they chew into the wood to get an anchorage. But you see here in the old comb, which coincidentally looks like brood comb, or I'm sorry, drone brood, they have started to chew up through here, and you saw that egg case. On the other side you see, oh, there's a spider, but that don't hurt anything. But they will soak it up and mess it up. So what we'll do is, and then we'll take it to the next level. This is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I'm about 95% sure that we're going to scrape this one off and just start again. And that brings me to the last one. When it does get this bad, there's another egg case. Sometimes the only thing you can do is just take it all off. Scrape the frame clean, and this will be a winter project to put new foundation ding, 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 into there. So a couple things here. With this frame, the one that I said is not very good. There's my wax melter, solar wax melter. I don't know why I did away from it, but so you can see what I got here is I built this Michigan Beekeepers Workshop plans, and it's really cool. And it's been so hot and sunny here. You can turn it, you know, to track with the sun, but I just honestly leave it out here. It's a very passive way to do it. And then you see at the bottom, it collects nice clean wax because it filters through this hardware cloth. So that is what is wax moth, or what are wax moths. What does the damage look like? What do they look like in different stages? And I'm going to take it upstairs to show you what I try to do to keep the wax moths from getting into my stuff. So this might not be real high quality video, not that the rest of them typically are, but what I have here is a 4-rack frame rack. And so the way to combat wax moth, well, the best way honestly is keep your boxes in the hive, but if you have extra and you need to store them, the best way is air and light. So up here in the top of the barn, and what I try to do is I try to, when I'm on the ball, which I wasn't obviously, I'll put them up here, and that lets that air flow through, and then there's a light from the window, and this is a mix of old and new frames. But anyway, all that to say, you put a little bit of air and light in there, and that would discourage the wax moth from laying their eggs and then trashing through your comb. So I have a box plus one so far that I've managed to say is salvageable or brand new, and so I'll get those loaded into the rack and keep looking through them today. And so the last part of the video here will wrap up with the box itself. So the wax is the thing, but wax moths will damage the box as well. See here, this is a divot from an egg. This is just debris from them laying their eggs and turning into cocoons. But anyway, that's a little bit about the wax moth, what it is, what it looks like, and some ideas to keep it from damaging your beekeeping equipment. So thanks for watching, and I hope you found this useful.